Once upon a time in the magical land of Sonoria, there was a young boy named Finn who had a problem. A big, scary, flapping, roaring problem. Fear of loud noises, like a lot of people. One day Finn was walking through the Whisper Woods on his way to visit his best friend, a little blue jay named Jay.
Ho, ho, ho!
But before he could reach the safety of the jay's nest, the sky darkened and a horrible wind began to blow. Then Finn saw it, a huge, ugly, grimacing cloud face swooped down from above and landed with a thump that shook the very ground beneath Finn's feet. It was a sourpuss, a big bad cloud monster who made faces at people to scare them. And this one was really good at it.
Ho, ho, ho!
Oh my gosh, squeaked Finn, shrinking down to the size of a blueberry. I'm gonna die. As the sourpuss loomed closer and closer, Finn squeezed his eyes shut and covered his ears with his hands. Then, just as the sourpuss opened its gaping jaws to let loose a deafening roar, Finn's ears popped open again. And what did he hear? Nothing. Not even the roar of the sourpuss. All he heard was a faint whisper.
Ho, ho, ho!
Cautiously, Finn peeked over his hands, and he saw that the sourpuss wasn't roaring at all. Instead, it was holding up a tiny ear knob like a seashell to its ear, turning it slowly from side to side. And when the sourpuss did that, its growls and roars became whispers and giggles. That was so weird. As the sourpuss finished examining its ear knob, it let out a happy sigh.
Ho, ho, ho!
Then it scooped up Finn, who was still the size of a blueberry, and put him inside its mouth. "Don't worry," said the sourpuss kindly. "It's going to be okay." And as it spoke, the sourpuss flew off toward a faraway land called Echo Owl's Island. When they arrived, the sourpuss gently set Finn down on a branch and introduced him to Echo Owl, a big brown owl with huge golden eyes.
Ho, ho, ho!
"You see," explained the sourpuss, "this silly little knob is actually one of Echo Owl's ears. He lost it a long time ago, but I found it on my travels today, and now I brought it back to him." Echo Owl looked very sad. "Without my ear knob," he hooted sadly, "I can't hoot. I can't cow. I can't do anything. I might as well be a boring, ordinary owl."
Ho, ho, ho!
"But," asked Finn, "if your ear knob makes you into an extraordinary owl, why don't you just put it back on?" Echo Owl looked at Finn as if he were crazy. "Because," he said, "it doesn't work like that. You see, I used to have two ear knobs, but now I only have one. If I put this one on, then it won't match the other one, and that would make me feel even worse."
Ho, ho, ho!
Finn frowned. He didn't understand why Echo Owl couldn't just be happy to get his ear knob back, no matter which ear it went on. So Finn hopped onto the branch where the ear knob was sitting and, without even asking permission, he grabbed it and put it on Echo Owl's left ear. "There you go," said Finn, all fixed. Echo Owl stared at Finn for a moment.
Ho, ho, ho!
You fixed my ear," but he hesitated, not sure how to say what he meant. "Well, what's wrong with it?" asked Finn. And that's when Echo Owl finally understood. Because of his broken heart, he hadn't realized that something wonderful had happened. When Finn placed the ear knob on his ear, the volume knob of life itself had been turned up to full blast. And now everything sounded amazing.
Ho, ho, ho!
The wind whispering through the trees sounded like harp strings. The babbling of the brook sounded like xylophones, and Echo Owl's own hoots sounded like deep booming drums. It was like living inside a symphony. But that wasn't all. Now that his hearing was better than it had ever been, Echo Owl heard all sorts of new sounds.
Ho, ho, ho!
He heard the soft drumming of a woodpecker, the delicate tinkling of a nearby waterfall, the rustling of a mouse scampering up a tree. And most amazing of all, he heard the beautiful singing of a nightingale. She was perched up high in the trees, singing her heart out. And now that Echo All could hear her properly, he knew he had to meet her.
Ho, ho, ho!
He spread his wings and took off toward the singing, with Finn clinging onto his talons for dear life. They followed the nightingale's song until they came to a clearing where the nightingale was sitting. And on a low-hanging branch, "Hello," said Echo All, trying to sound as suave as possible. I just wanted to tell you that you sing beautifully."
Ho, ho, ho!
The nightingale blushed and bowed her head. "Oh, thank you," she chirped. And that's when the sourpuss came swooping in. "Did someone say something about singing?" It boomed in its scary voice. "Because I love singing." It struck a pose and cleared its throat. Then it sang in a voice like nails on a chalkboard. "La-lee-loo, I'm a sourpuss. It's true. My face is scary. I'll show you, yip, yip, yip."
Ho, ho, ho!
The nightingale and Echo All exchanged panicked looks. What should they do? Was the sourpuss going to keep screeching forever? But then Finn had an idea. He flew up to the sourpuss and said, "Hey, wanna hear something cool? The sound you just made isn't scary at all. It's actually the perfect sound for a dragon sneeze." The sourpuss tilted its head and considered this. Dragon sneeze, eh?
Ho, ho, ho!
Well, I guess it could be a dragon sneeze. And in a flash, Finn grabbed the knob from the sourpuss's ear and stuck it inside his mouth. "Now it's a dragon sneeze," he said with a grin. The sourpuss stared at Finn in disbelief, while it whispered, "It is a dragon sneeze?" From that moment on, the sourpuss never made scary faces again.
Ho, ho, ho!
And instead it roamed around Sonoria looking for scary sounds that Finn could reimagine into something less frightening. Whenever it found one, the sourpuss would bring the sound to Echo All, who would amplify it with his extra ear knob. Soon, everyone in Sonoria was making music together. Even the grumpy troll under the bridge started tapping his big toes to the beat.
Ho, ho, ho!
And that's when Finn knew that he had learned the most important lesson of all. Noise isn't noise. It's just sound out of place. And sometimes all it takes to turn an unpleasant sound into something wonderful is a little imagination. Once upon a time in the magical land of Sonoria, there was a young boy named Finn who had a problem. A big, scary, flapping, roaring problem.
Ho, ho, ho!
Fear of loud noises, like a lot of people.
Ho, ho, ho!